Hang on, we're going for a ride. Welcome to the 4 to 5, Eric Chilton. I'm not used to this. Monique Robinson, Lauren Coleman, and Stacy Spivey. We're all ready to roll with our new little camera.
Yeah, we got our Movi camera back in action. Welcome to the 4 to 5 on Roku, Fire Stick, the WFOY News 2 app, and on WFOY News 2.
And we have a lot to get to today, but we're going to start with our top story. The anticipation is building as everyone waits to hear which airline manufacturer will call Greensboro its home.
Guilford County leaders have a series of meetings scheduled for tomorrow, all leading up to tomorrow afternoon's announcement.
This has been months in the making, but before leaders tell us who they need to discuss, how?
The county is considering tax breaks. The city plans to offer an incentive grant worth $1,500 per job. The company is expected to bring just over 1,700 jobs, so that's at least $2.6 million in city money over the next few years. The company plans to build a manufacturing facility at PTI and invest $500 million. The average salary for the new full-time positions will be $69,000 with benefits. Minimum pay is $15 per hour.
Over 1,000 new jobs and a high price tag to bring in this company, but where will the needed talent come from to fill those jobs and positions? We spoke with a professor of engineering at NCA&T. He says when large companies set up shop here, they look to local universities to fill the workforce.
When you have such a large company that locates here, it naturally looks to us for our graduates as future employees, and it looks to us to provide training for their existing workforce. So we have to be fully integrated. We have to be very knowledgeable about what their actual business processes are.
So think about this. Greensboro is becoming the next North Carolina hotspot for major companies like Toyota. The company is taking over the Greensboro Randolph megasite for a $1 billion investment to build a car battery plant. That will bring another 1,700 jobs to the area. Hiring is expected to begin in 2024.
Other companies brought in even more aircraft positions to Greensboro last year to support cargo traffic and handling. Last year, HAECO Americas announced plans to hire 150 to 200 people to fill positions for aircraft mechanics. And FedEx Express added 350 new jobs to support more daytime flights and its PTI Airport hub. Cargo traffic at PTI Airport rose by 30% last year compared to February 2020.
A family favorite is rebranding to honor a local donor. The Greensboro Children's Museum will be changing its name to Miriam P. Brenner Children's Museum after Frank Brenner's mother. Frank Brenner and his wife made a charitable donation to help the Children's Museum with much needed repairs. The Brenner family donated $1.25 million to the campaign. This is the largest individual donation yet.
It also speaks to the fact that our footprint goes much beyond Greensboro, that we have an expanded base since we started, and that we serve, a much larger footprint. And so we felt like it was an appropriate way to honor this gift, and it speaks to that larger geographic presence.
The museum needs a new HVAC system, roofing repairs, new flooring, and to update its lighting grid. The official name change takes place in July.
Well, very soon we'll be saying au revoir, adios, and goodbye to temperatures like what we've been seeing today. 59 was the high in Greensboro, 59 also that high in Reedsville. Winston-Salem just a degree warmer at 60 degrees. That's why I brought the guns out, just because it's just a little bit warmer. As we go throughout this week, these temperatures are going to just tumble into those very cold numbers. Now take a look at High Point, that time lapse throughout the day, starting out with very blue hues, a lot of cloud cover. Then we got a few breaks and clouds here and there as we got into the latter part of the afternoon, but overall we've been just seeing a lot of clouds out there. I expect for tonight to be a beautiful sunset roughly in the next hour and a half or so. Definitely going to see a nice sunset out there, especially with those few clouds lingering, but also that sunshine peeking its way through. Temperatures as of now still kind of right around that high temperature for the day. 58 still there in Greensboro, 60 in Winston-Salem. They're holding tight to that 60. 58 there even in Burlington. Boone at 44. Now that's a little bit more like where it should be for this time of year, and honestly the temperature that all of us will be feeling as we go into the next several days. Like I said, today being the warmest day of the next several days. I mean, 40s, 30s, overnight lows in the 20s. And as we go through tonight, windy conditions will persist. That cold front inviting that cold air in for the midweek, and it's going to be sticking around for the latter part of your week. And speaking of the latter part of your week, it could feature some wintry weather. Now, not talking a big winter storm. New England states, that's the area to watch. But here at home, we could see some flurries. I'll talk about it in my next full forecast.
Monique, thank you. The number of North Carolinians in the hospital with the virus has topped 5,000 for the first time. The state is reporting 5,055 patients. It's 150 patients more than yesterday and the 8th day in a row that we've set a new record. Even though we're setting records every day, the daily increases have slowed down a bit, which is good. Now take a look at this arrow. It shows the rapid rise during the end of December and much of January. The second arrow right here shows a more gradual increase in daily hospitalizations. While it's not a drastic change, the hope is we're starting to see the signs of a leveling off. Cone Health is creating virtual care options to ease the pressure on staff and resources after seeing a record 304 people in its hospitals with COVID-19 yesterday. You can find free e-visits, on conehealth.com/COVID-care or directly through your Cone Health MyChart. Fill out the questions and receive a care plan within an hour. Video visits are available from 8 to 8 through MyChart. These virtual visits are for anyone experiencing COVID symptoms, and Cone says if you're experiencing more severe symptoms like trouble breathing, seek emergency care.
Guilford County Division of Public Health will distribute N95 masks this week for free. The handout is Saturday at the Greensboro Coliseum. Supplies are limited and will be first come, first served. The drive-through event takes place from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. Each box contains 20 masks. Families get one box for each household.
Well, with the rollout of COVID-19 vaccines, we're now more equipped to prevent the spread of COVID, but the options for treating it remain somewhat limited. WFMY News 2's Megan Maleris verifies if a common OCD medication might be an unexpected remedy.
Well, that sound means it is time to verify. Going on year 3 of the COVID pandemic, we have vaccines, we have 2 FDA-approved COVID pills, and we have monoclonal antibody treatments. But the latter 2 options are hard to get for most Americans suffering from COVID. That's why viewer Joel submitted this question. Is fluvoxamine a verified COVID therapeutic? Well, for context, fluvoxamine is an SSRI approved by the FDA to treat mental health conditions like obsessive compulsive disorder and depression. Can it also treat COVID? To verify, we consulted the National Institutes of Health, looked at a Washington University School of Medicine study published in the JAMA network, and I talked with Dr. Cynthia Snyder, a Cone Health expert, who concluded, no, it's not a verified COVID therapeutic.
It's used for, I think, a gamut of different mental health situations, but that probably would not be the first and foremost drug that I would use. I would ask that your provider refer you to your maybe the local monoclonal antibody clinic that could see if you would qualify for that.
She mentioned there's also the antiviral drug remdesivir and Merck's and Pfizer's antiviral pills, molnupiravir and Paxlovid. But so far, no FDA approval for fluvoxamine for COVID. The WashU study looked at 152 patients who had COVID and were experiencing shortness of breath or pneumonia and needed supplemental oxygen. The results found patients who took fluvoxamine showed less clinical deterioration over 15 days than patients who took the placebo. But the study noted the need for more research with longer randomized trials. The National Institutes of Health agreed on this study and others. The agency emphasized there's insufficient evidence to recommend either for or against the use of fluvoxamine for the treatment of COVID-19, and it's not FDA approved for treating any infection. So we can verify the claim is false. Fluvoxamine is not a verified COVID therapeutic, at least not yet. That said, it does show some promise in several clinical trials. We'll just have to wait for more research. For now, use fluvoxamine only as prescribed by a doctor for its intended purpose. With your Verify, I'm Megan Maleris.
Now, if you have something you'd like verified, then if it's something circulating online, all you have to do is take a screenshot, then send a selfie video or maybe a short paragraph of that question to verify@WFMY.com. We'll be back.
From accomplishing your goals. Hey, Facebook.
Hello, friends.
Oh, I need to hop on there.
I do too. I'm gonna do that right now.
Happy Tuesday to you.
I get distracted.
Let's see. Be centered.
Well, breaking news. I have a follower on TikTok. What is happening?
Oh,
I
wait,
don't
you
even
just
post.
made
I
a
never post either.
TikTok? Oh, you already had one,
I've had TikTok
but you
for
didn't have
years,
followers?
Well, I never really I think I had one post, maybe two.
I still haven't gotten on the TikTok train yet.
Let's see who it is.
But you're a TikToker, Stacy.
I don't ever post.
Oh.
I only watch because
And Tasha, your
yes, they are. I've made some TikToks for fun, but I've never posted them. Like I've never shared them with the public. But I find it really fun and entertaining because there's a lot of funny videos to watch and you can send them to your friends and everything. But also there's a lot of hair and makeup tutorials that I love watching. There are a lot of, I'm on Mom Talk and Baby Talk now because obviously. And so I learn a lot of like just life hacks.
I don't have one, but me and Monique posted one a couple months ago.
Really?
We
I
went
have
to the
to find
Greensboro Science Center and we got the crickets that you can eat. And they were like bacon and cheddar flavored. And so we tried them on a video and showed our reaction and put it on TikTok.
Gross. Did it taste okay?
They taste like sunflower seeds. They were like the shell of the.
Gross. Oh, you know who's big on TikTok? Amber Lake.
Yes, I have seen
Yeah,
her stuff.
she posts a lot. I asked everyone on
Planning to save more money by spending less this year, making it a goal to lose weight by working out every single day. Maybe it's planning to give up smoking for good. These are some of the most common New Year's resolutions people make every year, but many folks won't stick with them. Studies show 80% of New Year's resolutions fail by mid-February. Andrew Farah is a psychologist with Lamont Health. He says one of the most common reasons people fail to stick with resolutions is simply their mentality.
I feel bad about myself, therefore I'm going to change X, Y, and Z. You want to say, I want to enhance myself, I want to feel better. The mistake a lot of people make is it comes from a negative space within a positive space. And we know that a little bit of self-criticism is motivating, but a lot of it will drag you down. And people are more likely to accomplish things with a positive mindset rather than one of criticism.
Farah says the best ways to stick with a resolution is to write it down or share your goals with someone you trust. This will help you to be accountable. Set realistic expectations. It has to be something you can actually accomplish. Create a timetable and measure your progress. So instead of saying I'm going to lose 20 pounds, say I'm going to lose a pound a week, so you have a way to measure that goal. This will help to track your progress. And lastly, carve out time.
So I can't tell you the number of people that want to tell me they wanted to accomplish something, but they just didn't change their lifestyle enough to make the time for it. And it's sort of like sometimes you just have to stop what you're doing and go to the gym, or stop what you're doing and write that chapter or what you want, whatever your goal is. Because again, that's another mistake, is people don't change the lifestyle to accommodate this new learning or this new process.
So I asked you on Facebook, what tends to keep you from accomplishing your goals? And we got a lot of responses. Clifton Alexander says procrastination and fear. Scott Lynch says distractions and procrastination. A lot of folks said procrastination. Brittany Wall wrote lack of confidence. Joy Mott, self-doubt. Michael Sutton, honestly, the people you surround yourself with. Elizabeth Orlean says fear of failing. And Ronnie Berry wrote myself. A lot of people wrote themselves as well. I know for me that carving out time was important for me with the goals I set last year, because every year I say, oh, I want to lose a few pounds, I want to go to the gym. And I'm one of those people that will go hard for a period of time, but then life gets in the way. So last year when I made that a goal, I signed up for a class, a gym that I go to, and I just said, I'm going to go at least 4 days a week, 6 a.m. I'm just gonna go.
Is it one
even
of
when I
those-
don't feel like it?
Do we have this discussion where it's one of those gyms where you have to pay if you don't go? Or
Yes.
something?
Okay.
Yes.
So I'll put that in there. So my gym charges me if you don't show up. So
Oh,
basically,
no.
I get a little charge. So that's more that motivation. So when my alarm goes off, sometimes I'm like, oh, I'm tired, but I'm like, oh, I don't want to get that charge.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Let me get out of the bed and go. But they do that as an accountability factor.
Yeah, it's
That's a great
incentive.
idea.
Yeah.
That's
You
a
say that
great
now,
idea.
but when you get that charge, you're like, why
Yeah.
did they do this?
It's
Well,
not a,
mine's getting up early because I try to do it before I go to work because when I come home, it's kid duty, right? Till-
Yeah.
And my hardest thing is making myself go to bed on the nights before I'm going to work out at a good hour because I like staying up late and watching a little TV, but you're exhausted if you get up because I have to get up, help the kids get ready to get off school, and I try to work out at 7. And that, to me, that's really early. I can't say that because some people here get up at like 5:30.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Our
it's
producer.
tough. Yes,
Yes,
that's what I was
yeah.
thinking of.
I would say mine is always excuses. I always can think of an excuse
Oh,
for
yeah.
everything. That's something that my husband was like, you literally will find an excuse for whatever. And I'm like, well, I guess that's how my mind works. But, you know, I really want to get back into the gym after having a baby. I want to get, you know, back into shape and everything, and I just keep thinking of excuses. Well, I'm too tired. Oh, well, I have to stay late today at work.
Tomorrow's a big day.
Yeah, you know, well, I really just want to spend more time with Baylor. I feel like they're all valid excuses, right? But I just come up with excuses.
There's a way to make it happen. I like what he said about writing it down and finding a way to measure it because I
Yeah.
know saving is also another one of mine. And I'll start off by like, oh, I'll take this much out of this paycheck or I'll take this much. But then if you could come up with a way to like, I'm gonna take this amount every paycheck and not even think about it. Or there's accounts you can set up to where that's automatic.
That's what I was gonna
That
say.
will help
Yep.
instead of just coming up with random, you know,
I'll tell you
things
another
to
thing to
save.
do is we're talking about budgeting and saving and those goals. Take what you want to spend out for the next 2 weeks out of your paycheck in cash.
Oh,
and
yeah.
keep that with you, and then take little bits to where whatever. And that's all you can spend. Then you see your money going down instead of just numbers on a machine. And that makes a big difference.
I have a friend who recently said that they were doing this program with a group of friends where they took different envelopes. So it's like they have a certain number of envelopes for each week, and you increase the amount of money that you put in it, and you can see what you've saved over time.
Nice.
So I was like, that sounds like a good idea.
Some good advice there. Think about that. Talk to us on Facebook. We'll be right back. Oh, where am I? It's JC's over there.
I'm going to our other set. Bye.
So somebody asked on Facebook what we had for dinner last night. I think this comes from my Will It Fit or Won't It Fit leftover challenge.
Oh, okay.
But no, we went out to eat. Since I'm solo, my wife is out of town for a few days, so I took the little ones. My wife
Hi.
gets mad at me. She goes, every time we leave, all you do is take them out and they eat horrible food.
So they're like, Mom, are you going out of town
they
again?
are. They're like, "Dad,
Oh!
can we go to McDonald's? No, so last night we just
You
went
got some
to
McDonald's
a
money?
little restaurant, and they had mozzarella sticks and fries.
That sounds pretty good.
I love mozzarella sticks.
I do.
So
too.
do I. Arby's has some pretty good mozzarella sticks.
Do they really?
Yeah, they do.
I always get them from Sonic.
Those are good too.
Oh, I love Sonic's hot dogs.
I've never had their hot dog.
I haven't either. They have that like dollar corn dog day, don't
See,
they?
I mostly get desserts when I go to Sonic, like their ice creams or something like that.
Yeah.
I like the limeades that they have.
Yeah.
Those, I love those.
And they have the
things.
little candies in them and stuff.
We always talk about food.
I know we do. It's
never
because
fail.
of the time of the day. It makes it hard. Oh, by the way, a lot of people on Facebook were asking about that. I did a chicken marsala the other night, and I was showing it, and they asked for the recipe. So I'm going to post that on Facebook.
It's warm today, but the temperatures are going to plummet tonight. So stay in, grab your popcorn and favorite snacks, and watch movies screening at the Sundance Film Festival. WFMY News 2's photojournalist Manning Franks reviews God's Country.
Sometimes when we try to put all of our faith in institutions, we are on a path to disappointment. A sobering message to be sure, but that is one of the themes this Sundance premiere of God's Country attempts to tackle. Thondaway Newton stars in a modern Western about a grieving woman named Sandra, isolated both emotionally and physically in the snowy wilderness of America. What some might call slow, I see God's Country as intentionally methodical, taking its time as the oxygen in the room begins to fade, just like our hope. It's a beautiful parallel that makes you sit with that feeling long after the credits roll. Newton is a true force and has never been better as this complex character who is pushed to the breaking point when hunters trespass on her land. It's a battle of wills amidst beautiful cinematography and a haunting score. I wish the supporting cast had a deeper sense of character because most of the time they come across as paper thin. Always just an inch away from complexity but never reaching there. Regardless, God's Country is a claustrophobic Western thriller that shows the horrors of feeling hopeless and alone when everything and everyone fails. It's a heavy film for sure, but incredibly rewarding as it taps into these primal human emotions. I'm giving a News 2 approved. You can rent God's Country on Sundance's website until tomorrow at 10 a.m. Wide release is still pending.
And we'll have another review from Manning coming up at 4:30.
All right, so if you're not familiar with the Green Hills Center for North Carolina Art, then now is your chance because this is their winter show. It's actually been extended. This features artists from all over the state with all different mediums of art. I spoke with Edie Carpenter of the exhibit hall for all the details. Edie, thank you so much for taking time out to be with us today. Let's hear a little bit about the winter show. What is the theme this year? What's this all about?
Yes, well, this is the 42nd edition of Green Hills' annual winter show survey of contemporary artists from the state of North Carolina. What's new this year is the exhibition used to only run through the month of January, but we've extended it. So it's going to be on through February 16th, and that really gives people the opportunity to see these works by 55 artists from across the state, from Newland to Beaufort.
So I love the fact that these are all North Carolina artists because our state does have a really deep and rich art community. I mean, you see this more than I do. Talk a little bit about that.
You know, I do. I've been curator at Green Hill Center for North Carolina Art for over 15 years, and it's really never ceased to amaze me how many artists live and work in the state and come to this state to work and exhibit and teach and mentor other artists. In Winter Show this year, for example, over 30%, over a third of the artists are brand new to Green Hill. In other words, I've never exhibited them before here. So there's really a wealth of talent in our state.
Well, thank you so much. This sounds awesome. I'm sure people are going to be lining up. We appreciate you. And they've been doing this a long time. The key to the Green Hill Center is that it's all North Carolina artists and their work being exhibited. And there is no theme this year of a particular style of art. It's like all of it together. And you get to see, in some cases, usually it's between about 55 and 100 different artists are represented across North Carolina.
That's a large number.
It's a lot.
Have you all ever been to an art exhibit before?
I've been to that one, but it was not this year. It's been years, so it's been a long time. I need to get back there. It's a beautiful facility.
I need to go. I think honestly the last time I went to one was like in elementary school when my art piece made it to like the regional competition or something like that.
Ooh, that's cool.
It wasn't that great, trust me. It was like a paper mache, is that what it is? Paper mache?
paper mache.
Saturn,
Okay.
like the planet.
Very cool.
You know, my mom was a teacher. You know how that goes.
Yeah.
So they know how to amp up those projects and make them look good.
Well, if you ever do get the chance to go to a art exhibit, definitely do it. I've been to a few of them myself, and it just gives you more appreciation for things because you'll see different works of art and you're like, wow, how did they make that? It might seem to some people like that doesn't seem like something fun to do, but you really do discover a lot of really cool
I feel
things.
like you'd feel fancy going.
You
know?
do that too,
And like
all
wear a
dress
nice
up
cocktail
thing.
dress. And
Go with someone that's an artist and let them explain it all to you. That's what
Oh,
we need
that's
to do.
smart.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're coming back. Stay there.
This line means over the horizon.
Pointillism.
Walk around with your nose in the air.
Too. Like has very deep.
Yep.
So everybody's talking about what they're eating for dinner tonight. So I thought we could chime in on that.
Okay.
Leftovers. for me.
Well, when I say we, Jake is making chicken pot pie. Because we were both, I was
That
like,
sounds good.
I'm kind of craving chicken pot pie. And he was like, I was just thinking about that because it's going to be so cold and like you want something
I love
warm.
that.
I'm going to be doing salmon with a bourbon glaze. Now, I can't take the credit on the glaze this time, though I can't make a glaze. I got these from Harris Teeter, and they're like already pre-seasoned and stuff, but they are bomb.com. And then I have some rice that I already prepped, and then I'm gonna do some like roasted broccoli.
Ooh, I love
Denise
broccoli.
in our room says shrimp, scallops, brown rice pasta, spinach with a garlic butter and olive oil on top.
Okay, Denise, I'm coming to your
Coming
house.
right over.
That
We'll all
sounds
be
really
there.
good. So Laura, do you bake your salmon?
A lot of times, yeah, I like to make mine on the stove, or I've been recently making it in the air fryer too. And the air fryer, I use my air
got to
fryer
do that.
more than my oven. Like 90% of the time, because I have one of the big ones. I got it as a gift last year, and I mean, you could cook vegetables in it, just put some olive oil in it. You could cook French fries. You can make desserts. You can even cook an egg in there. I have not done that yet.
I
but you
told
can.
Jake that we need to get one because like
They're
there's so many
life-changing.
things.
They're very
We've had
life-changing.
it.
They're easy to clean.
We've had it for a year, have never used it.
What?
Yep.
Okay, so
You got to do it. And
we
make-
need one, and y'all need to get.
I mean, you
cooking
can,
on there.
when I say like I've cooked bacon in there, and it's like came out the best I've ever even made it on the
Everyone
stove. And I'm
praises
being
them.
so honest, and it like gets all the fat out of it and all that. But I'm just saying it makes stuff taste better. Like French fries, just spray some olive oil spray on there. It tastes like the.
Today on U Day, Coach Lamont has one clear message. No matter how tough it gets, don't throw in the towel. Your time of breakthrough is coming.
I came to a point in my life that I had to confront the things that were destroying me in secret. See, I struggled in silence, only hearing the voice of pain. If this is how you feel, I want to say this directly to you. You are here because there is a plan for your life. Now is not the time to throw in the towel. You can't wave the white flag surrendering, giving up on the promise concerning your life. You must keep the faith. You are not a mistake. You are not an accident. You are a needed gift, a worthy gift. Press through because regardless of what it may look like today, you are going to come through tomorrow. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best U Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Stacey Spivey with Eric Chilton, Lauren Coleman, and Monique Robinson.
We're all here, whether we're in our little boxes or not. Yeah, we're all here. Welcome to everybody watching the 45 right here on WFMY News 2. Also, don't forget Fire Stick, Roku, and our app, too. You can watch us anywhere.
Lots of news to talk about, so let's get into your 4 to 5 roundup for today. A triad woman sentenced for her role in the January 6th Capitol riots has been updated after a technical error. Jenny Spencer is sentenced to 90 days in prison with 0 probation, and she'll pay a $500 fine. Spencer's initial sentencing document said she faced 3 years of probation, but that's been updated to no probation. Spencer pled guilty to parading, demonstrating, or picketing in the Capitol building. 2 fires in one day in Winston-Salem. Take a look at this video. Firefighters responded to this home on Sanford Drive early this morning. The fire was under control in about 40 minutes, and thankfully, the 3 adults in the home were already out of the house before crews arrived on the scene. No one was hurt, but the home is a total loss. The cause of the fire is under investigation. Crews later responded to Westgate Circle for another fire. Officials say the fire was caused by unattended cooking. 4 adults were displaced there. The man accused of attacking and seriously injuring a Guilford County detention officer has pleaded guilty to all counts against him. 22-year-old Elijah Evans will face a minimum sentencing of 3 years with a maximum sentence of up to 43 years. 72-year-old law enforcement veteran officer Sheldon Kaminsky suffered several fractures to his face and spent 46 days in the hospital. And here's a sweet deal for you. Krispy Kreme is offering a free dozen original glazed donuts. To get that free dozen, though, just donate blood. It's a partnership with the American Red Cross. After you donate blood, you can take proof of your donation to a Krispy Kreme to get your free dozen. The offer is valid through the end of this month.
The Greensboro Science Center is hosting a community blood drive in February with the American Red Cross. These partnerships follow the Red Cross's first ever National Blood Crisis Declaration earlier this month. The Science Center's blood drive is February 9th from 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. at the Sales Center.
Well, today, a former Guilford County deputy received an honor for heroism tied to what happened on Interstate 85 before the Thanksgiving holiday. So Keith Mangum was on I-85 when he saw a car that made a U-turn and started driving in the wrong direction. The car crashed into a tractor trailer and then hit a passenger car. Mangum got out of his car and helped the unresponsive woman until paramedics arrived. He said it's just really a part of who he is.
People that know me know I always run to danger, not away from it, and that's just my character. So for me, it's natural. It's just a natural ability, and like I said, I'm running to danger, not away from it.
Wow, Mangum said he's honored for the recognition, but there's still more work to be done and to achieve. That's somebody you want as a first responder.
Absolutely. Right there. Just not thinking of himself. Even at the end of that, he's still thinking about what more work needs to be done. And even just how calm and collected he was. Obviously, when somebody's responding to something, you want them to have that type of mentality.
Makes me think of when we see pictures from 9/11 and people running from the buildings, but the firefighters and police officers running to it as fast as they could.
Yeah, I mean, I firmly believe that God gives people different gifts, and the people that are first responders, that are brave heroes, that are, fighting for us overseas in our military, they have a gift to run to danger and to protect others and to be heroes. And I know I can never do any of that, so I'm thankful that there are people like him that do this selflessly.
It's amazing that it's a natural instinct for them too. Have you ever thought about like your first instinct a lot of times would be to like hide or try to get away?
And some people's first instinct is to, protect, like I'm sure your mother's when you're in the car. And my mom always goes like this. Even to this age, she does that now.
It's true.
But it is like a natural thing.
And you're right, Stacey. Thank goodness that people do that. That's a great thing. Good for him. All right, let's check in with our forecast now. We'll see what's happening with Monique.
All right, cold front moved through, allowing for cooler air to set its way into the forecast. High pressure building in behind that cold front and fairly windy conditions. So going to be quite windy as we go into tonight. Just wind gusts roughly between 15 to 20 miles per hour. And then that continuing through the start of your early Wednesday morning. And then winds die down as we go into Thursday. Next big weather system to watch out for is Friday, where we do have the chance of snow. An area of low pressure is expected to develop off the North Carolina coast. Now, depending where exactly the system develops will determine what we see, if it's just rain or snow or just simply nothing at all. The timing of this concentrates to about late Friday evening into the early part of your Saturday. A major winter storm primarily for the New England states, so north of us, but we can't rule out the possibility of us seeing something here. We're trending now to the 3 to 5 day time frame, meaning the timing of it and the storm type kind of getting a better picture of that. Not necessarily looking at the ice potential or sleet potential, but snow or rain is likely as we go into the latter part of your Friday. Here's a look at that full 7 day. Haven't shown it yet. So like I said, late Friday going into the start of your Saturday, things clearing out fairly quickly for much of the Saturday and things moving way north as we go into the Saturday. So our story is primarily for late Friday going into Saturday, but overall the temperatures are going to be cold for the next several days.
The SAT exam is keeping up with the times by moving from paper to a digital format. Administrators say this shift is to keep the test relevant as more colleges make standardized tests optional for admission. Test takers will be allowed to use their own laptops or tablets, but they still need to be monitored at the testing site or in school. The format change is scheduled for rollout in the U.S. in 2024. SATs will also be shorter, moving from a 3-hour exam to about 2.
No more number 2 pencils and little circles anymore. I can't imagine.
I remember I hated the SATs. I took it one time and one time only. I can't sit still for 3 hours, so it's shortening is good news.
I took it 3 times and took 2 prep tests for the SATs. But I personally, I'm gonna go in a different direction. I think we should do away with them altogether.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm like not really for the whole standardized test for college. I feel like if you
I
have the
agree.
grades, the extracurriculars, that to me as somebody in a that works in admissions, that would mean more to me than a test.
And some people are not good test takers.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's just the truth. That pressure will get to them, but they're better if they have time to think things through.
Yeah, I was just about to say, so where I'm from, we always take the ACT instead of the SAT. Anyway, I'm not a good multiple choice person. I can never make a decision. I'm a good writer, so I wish that I would have had the option to take the SAT, but I really agree with you, Lauren. I don't think that sometimes it's the best, I guess, showcase of your ability and you as a student, because I made straight A's in high school and college, but I didn't have I had an okay score, but I wish that, they would weigh more on what you're good at.
Absolutely.
All of us, let's be honest, we're in this because we can carry ourselves and we can speak well. I always thought if I could just get in front of them, I might be able to
Exactly.
get the
You could
job.
just see me.
Is that true, Monique?
No, yes, certainly. I also was just thinking when you guys were talking too, with it moving digital, this is really helpful for COVID, because I know last year and the year before they kept canceling them and they kept pushing people back from when they were actually going to take it. So this is really helpful.
That's true. All right, we'll see. Weigh in on Facebook. We'll take a break. If you've ever been touched by a hospice organization, you're well aware of the value they have, not only for the patients, but for the families as well. Well, now we can give back by supporting their resale shops all across our area. Here's part of my conversation with Sarah Taverney with Mountain Valley Hospice. Sarah, thanks for being with us today. Hey, let's talk about what you guys do day in and day out for those that aren't familiar.
So at Mountain Valley Hospice and Palliative Care, we provide hospice care to patients and their families who are no longer looking for curative treatments. We also have a number of other services. We provide bereavement or grief counseling services to families, and we also have veteran outreach, and we have a Kids Path program and a Pet Peace of Mind program.
I know this is kind of an ongoing thing for you guys. It's not just a one-time event. Tell us how what you need from us and how this affects your clients.
Well, we're hoping that as people are cleaning out their closets, doing some decluttering, that they will consider donating their gently used items to our resale shops. Our resale shops support patients and families who are underinsured or uninsured, and helps provide for their hospice care.
So generally speaking, what type of items are you looking for the shops?
So primarily we're looking for household items that are gently used. We also do well with selling clothing, fashion forward outfits, and just home decor. But things that it's really important that the items are something that are suitable for the sales floor and something that people would like to buy. When people shop in our stores, we want it to always be a surprise for them. The inventory is constantly changing. We want it to be a really fun experience for them.
Sarah, thank you so much for taking time out today. The great stuff you guys are doing as always. This is such a great idea, and again, if you've had experience with hospice, I'll tell you firsthand with experience, a wonderful organization. So these shops, you can donate things, or you can just donate money if you want to, or go visit and shop at the stores, right? And then some of that money, a portion of that, goes back to help families that don't have enough insurance when they're going through these horrible situations with loved ones that are usually terminally ill, whether they're underinsured or uninsured, they help them out.
I'm finding that these thrift stores have been an avenue for a lot of nonprofits and organizations. Like you have thrift stores where the people who work in the thrift store might be battling addiction, and then that money goes back into their program, or someone that might be homeless, they work at the thrift store and it goes back into their program. But this is the first time I've heard of something like this to help families with hospice. This is a really great tool for the community.
Yeah, I just always think, most of us probably have dealt with a family member or someone we know and love that have been in hospice. And with my family, those people helped us so much going through some of the hardest times in our lives with my grandparents and my cousin. And so I love that this helps that avenue. I think it's so important that we continue to donate to them and to help them because they're helping families in our community.
Yep. It's perfect time with spring cleaning too to do some donations there. We'll be right back.
Actually, we have another story. You did it to me again. It's okay, it's okay. So we told you about how you can watch the film screening at the Sundance Film Festival. Now, WFOY News 2's Mandy Franks is going to review those movies for you this week. Today's review, Alice, starring Keke Palmer.
Sometimes movies play with genre, and through this experimentation you can get some beautiful working of tones. Although adept execution isn't always guaranteed, and Alice falls into that trap. This film, starring a transfixing Keke Palmer in the title role, is about a black woman enslaved in 1800s rural Georgia. However, after a brutal escape across the barriers of the remote plantation, she finds that she's been in 1973 all along. The premise alone is something that can both pique your curiosity, but also make your head spin. Part M. Night Shyamalan twist, The Color Purple, and blaxploitation films like Shaft, Alice feels like the creators put all these inspirations in a blender and mixed it up. The result? An odd revenge film that attempts to piece together a conglomeration of aforementioned hits. While these parts work on their own, honestly, I rather enjoyed singular scenes and sequences, including Keke Palmer, who blew me away. The final product feels too disjointed to offer any lasting message. And while some parts are emotionally effective, Alice feels like 2 or 3 separate films. Honestly, I'd recommend other Sundance titles. For that, I'm giving a For You to Decide. It'll be available to rent on Sundance's website today until tomorrow at 10 a.m. And it will be available this Friday, January 28th at 7:30 p.m. at Aperture Cinema. Wide release still pending.
Manning's reviews continue tomorrow right here on the 4 to 5. We'll be right back. Accent thing.
Let me say that I love Manning Franks, and I am not trying to skip his story every day.
Shade, the shade.
You got Chilton.
It's 2 days in a row. I said, we'll be right back. And Lauren goes, no, wait, one more story. Typical Chilton.
Yeah, no, that's so funny about like how different people say different
Oh,
things.
like Lauren versus Lauren?
Yeah.
But at least it's not Laureen. I had a basketball coach in 6th grade. I was on a co-ed team. He called me Laureen the whole season.
Laureen?
The whole season.
But was it a joke?
No, like he thought that was my name. I was the only girl on the team too. And I remember I corrected him like once or twice. And then after that, I just went with it. And I remember the award ceremony at the end because I wasn't that great of a player. But he used to be like, you know, and Laureen, she always showed up to practice. She always had a good attitude. Come get your award, Laureen. And I'm like, that is not my name.
That's funny.
Oh my gosh. That's how you know you're good. They're like, you showed up to practice every day.
She was
you
a team
had a great
player.
attitude.
Team player.
I always joke.
The boys never passed me the ball.
I've told you guys this before, but I joke with Jenna because I think Jenna's last name is Kurzina, but it sounds, I always tell her I like Jenna Kurzina. I want to say it like that.
Jenna Kurzina.
But I say that to myself and I'm scared I'm going to say it on air. Jenna Kurzina.
Kurzina. That's a fun name.
It really is.
Wordle.
Yeah, I don't play that.
I have not played it yet, but at least there's a
Wordle.
package on
Courtney plays
this.
it, our producer, right? Doesn't she?
And I haven't watched the story, so I'm excited to learn how to play.
Do you guys on Facebook play Wordle? Do you know what we're even talking about?
Oh my
Makes me
word.
think of like water, like Wordle, like Squidward. I don't know. That's just what's
People,
going
you
in
know,
my
people
head.
From like the Tidewater section of Virginia and North Carolina will say water.
Water.
Instead of water, they'll say water.
Oh yeah, water.
Or water.
Oh, wait,
Monique
do I
says,
move
you know,
after
she's
this?
from New Jersey, so she says water. Ask her to say it when she comes in here. Water. She
Hey,
says it
Tasha,
a
do I go to
different
the
way.
ham after this?
Water. Something
Okay.
I've heard people say water.
Water.
Do
Water.
you say tournament or tournament?
See, now I'm gonna overthink. I probably say it interchangeably,
I think
honestly.
I've heard you say tournament.
Tournament.
Yeah.
Somebody
Tournament,
here says
tournament. See?
tournament.
Well, I mean, it's T-O-U-R. It sounds like it should be tournament. I say
Tournament?
because I grew up
I
in the
say
South,
tournament.
I'm about to just say tourney for now on.
I have a pretty thick accent.
But nobody says you say a tourney, not a tourney. You know what I mean?
Tourney, yeah.
I don't know.
Well, you may have heard about it from a friend or you've seen the colorful boxes on your social media feeds. Wordle, the new online game grabbing everyone's attention, young and old. CBS News' Jeff Wagner explains what Wordle is and why it's so popular.
It looks like a colorful cubed code that people keep talking about, but it's just a personal score for Wordle. You play Wordle?
I am unfamiliar with the Wordle.
An online game users can't wait to play. How long have you guys been playing Wordle?
Probably
A couple weeks.
2 weeks now, I think.
3 weeks.
3 weeks.
Our daughter
1 day.
told us about it.
One day.
Day one.
The rules are straightforward. Users try to guess the 5-letter word of the day. They get 6 attempts. Green signifies a correct letter and location. Yellow means correct letter, wrong spot. Once finished, users are encouraged to share their results.
I enjoy it. I think it's fun.
How'd you guys do today?
Excellent.
I did great. Two tries.
2 tries.
Very lucky.
4. I feel very good about that.
Simplicity is the key to having success.
Brandon Gaines is the VP of Monetize More, a marketing agency that helps websites and apps build their business.
Why is Wordle so popular?
So in a word, it's that scarcity.
Unlike other online games, there's only one word to solve each day.
It doesn't feel like a time commitment.
5 minutes.
Yep.
The user interface is also easy. No advertisements or menus.
You literally like click on the browser and you go right there and you can do it like on your phone.
Our world is very distracting. You need to stand out. And that level of simplicity plus scarcity is how you get people to build a habit with your app, website.
I think the biggest thing is me and my friends always send our score, always send what we get every day.
Whether it's a text thread or social media, users are handling all of the marketing by sharing their scores. So far this year, Wordle has been tweeted about 1.3 million times.
Like that's worth its weight in gold, right?
Gaines calls that engagement social currency.
So for each person talking about it, it kind of creates a loop, a new person trying it, and just continues to grow from that point.
The enjoyment of piecing letters together is nothing new.
We do New York Times crossword puzzles.
Big Scrabble competition.
But with our phones in hand and a little bit of time in the other, Wordle might have found the sweet spot.
All right, I can see myself becoming mildly obsessed with this.
Like I said earlier,
Wordler.
I'm shocked you don't already do this. You're such a gamer.
I am a gamer, and I would love that. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna download
Does
it.
anybody do it? Monique,
I actually
Lauren?
don't. I've seen so many people tweet about it, but I've been trying to like disengage from my phone for long periods of time. So the only reason why I haven't done it. But my mom is notorious for always making us play Scrabble as a kid. Like she had the limited edition, like this onyx black one, velvet.
Wow.
As a kid, I couldn't watch TV, but Scrabble, that's what I did.
I did like Scrabble. Now I will tell you, so earlier today, I heard a yelling coming from a certain somebody's office because of Wordle today.
Who?
I'm talking about Tasha.
Oh, our producer. Tasha.
Oh,
And it was
now
all
we know.
about Wordle, so clearly it's exciting.
I haven't gotten on the Wordle train, but I'm just so amazed by the different games that become popular, like Candy Crush. I still play that. Then we had Words with Friends.
Words
and now
with Friends I still like.
I still
yeah.
have that on my
Yep.
phone as well too. Then you had like Subway Surfer. I'm a gamer as well.
I love
so I
Subway
might be
Surfer.
on the Wordle train soon.
My one of my twins at one point they can play piano. They've been taking piano since they were little, and he was playing the Subway Surfer song. He goes, "Dad, what's this song?" And I knew it, like the music they play in the
I
background.
beat the
when you're
whole
playing
game.
Did you?
I beat every level, and then they
Oh
started
my
going to like
gosh.
different countries, and then they have different things for
wow.
different like
Wow.
holidays.
Way to go, Elsie.
But yeah, that's a little fact about me. I like to play phone games.
Now you know. Now you know. All right. Now we're going to break. Trust me.
There
Look,
she
look,
is, the
there she
Wordle queen
There's the
herself.
Wordle girl.
Okay, woohoo!
Nice.
One, two, three, 4, 5, 6.
Usually get it right, even though you only have 6 chances.
Hi there, Alabama, Atlanta.
Kelly, I got my mask on.
Mike, check. Jalen, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Brad's gonna wax.
Jenna, they need a mic check.
Mic check 1, 2, 3. Don't forget I don't have an IFB.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mic check. I'm walking.
It's time for my 2 cents. With all the cold weather we've been experiencing, I'm dreaming of a day when I can just sit on the beach with the sun beating down and the sound of the waves crashing in the background. Since it's National Plan a Vacation Day, it's the perfect day to get everything booked. After being cooped up for 2 years during a pandemic, many Americans are going on a vacay in 2022. A survey from Expedia says 68% of Americans are planning on going big on their next trip. Analysts say 3.4 billion people are traveling this year. That's almost back to the numbers we saw in 2019. Many are searching for destinations like Rome, Bali, London, and Paris. I asked you on my Facebook page where you want to go. Delaney says anywhere with a beach. Scott posted this gif of a dog laying in the sun and says anywhere with salt water, sand, and ocean. He hasn't been on a beach vacation in 2 years. Eric has his eyes on Cabo and anywhere with sunshine and margaritas. And my mom, Susan, has a long list. Key West, Hawaii, Alaska, Santa Fe, and Florida beaches. Whether you go on a big trip overseas or just to the Carolina coast or mountains for a weekend, I think we all deserve some time away to reset and relax. That's just my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts right now.